Ethan Overton is someone who has grown an audience of over 100,000 on TikTok and has amassed over 200 million views. Originally starting out with car content, to DJing in Iron Apple, to then cycling all the way to Ukraine for charity, you can't really hold Ethan down to one particular niche, which is why I find his journey so interesting. He proves that with enough persistence or blind confidence, as we mentioned in the podcast, that you can go down any route with the power of social media. In today's podcast, we speak on how he got to where he is, some of the struggles that come with being on social media and posting content on there, and what his plans are for the future. But anyway, enough from me. Let's get to the podcast. Yes, guys, welcome back to the ODAN podcast. Today we are joined by a very unique content creator. He does just about everything from DJing, cycling to Ukraine. He's got a new project that he's starting, which we'll get into, but we are joined by none other than Ethan Overton. How you doing, mate?
Hello, Odin. Thank you for having me, mate.
Yeah, so when I think to the content that you put out, I've been following you for quite a while, and there's not one thing that I can pin you down to for what you are. Like, a content creator is used as a broad term.
Yeah.
But you don't just make content about one thing, and why is that?
Basically, I don't know when you started following, but it was back. I started with a car niche, and I just loved cars and I loved modifying things. And then I kind of got bored of it, and I just thought, okay, what else can I go to? I'm moving to uni soon. I'm gonna try something different, and then I just got bored of that as well. So I just thought, I don't need a niche. I'm gonna make my own niche. I'm gonna see if people want to follow along, and if they don't, they don't. If they do, then sick. And it seems to be going well from then. I seem to get very bored very easily, which is, I don't know if it's ADHD or something that I've got, that I just can't tolerate the same thing for a prolonged amount of time. So I constantly switch it up.
What actually brought you to start making content in the first place? Like, what were you doing before you started making content?
Well, I think it's the same with a lot of people. Is lockdown that got me started. So I actually wore it today. This is my Pets at Home T-shirt there. So this is where I was when I first started making content. So I was working at Pets at Home in lockdown, and I just bought a car, and I thought, you know what? I got a shit box. Let me try and modify it, because I saw some other guy doing a similar thing. I thought, yeah, I can do that. And then it turned out we're in the same town, so we did stuff together, and it was, yeah, that's what lockdown. Lockdown is a short answer.
So before then, you didn't have any sort of ambitions or visions of creating content. It kind of just right place, right time.
Yeah, not at all. I knew I always wanted to be a YouTuber, but the whole editing process and filming, and it was so long. I was decent at editing. I knew I was to use all the software and cameras and stuff, but TikTok was quick, short form. You just whip a camera out and bang, 100,000 views. You're like, to get that on YouTube, I would be grinding my ass off, and it'd probably take me like 3-4 years to get something, probably longer than that, to get those like reoccurring figures.
Yeah, I think TikTok, it came in at a time when everyone was just stuck at home on their phones.
Yeah.
And like you're saying, to build up an audience on YouTube, that takes years and years of just consistently putting videos out, whereas TikTok, just, you could not even have anyone following you. It doesn't stop you from having a video like go viral. So
exactly, it's the same as like these Instagram influencers or Twitter or Facebook. It still takes years. TikTok's like the quickest way of growing a brand, a personality. 100%. It makes it so much easier for anyone to do as well. Don't want to big up TikTok too much, but
yeah. So did you do any, like, start a YouTube channel beforehand? I've always had the impression you're the sort of person that had a YouTube channel when you're in school.
Yeah, I used to do guitar tutorials when I was 11 to 14, and then people started taking the piss out of me, so I stopped posting, which I'm really disappointed about. I did a chemistry rap at one point as well in like year 7, which is mad, because I watched the KSI documentary, and that's exactly what he did. He did a chemistry rap that I was like, what? But I've always been into like posting stuff, but when I was younger, a lot of the comments that people were saying really get to you, and it's not till when you get older you're like, oh, fuck you, I don't care about what you think. It's when you're like a teenager, you're really, really fragile, especially going to an all boys school. It's constant.
Yeah, and it's like makes me think too. Before I started posting content and stuff, the thing holding me back was just looking like an idiot and like all people I know were watching it.
Yeah,
And the only reason why I started making content, I haven't actually like spoken about this before. There was a guy on TikTok called Ray Radders that was posting these talking videos about drum and bass, and I saw this guy and I was like, this guy like really wound me up, and I didn't know why. And then what I realized is this guy was doing something that I was too scared to do. So then it
yeah,
forced me to do it because like, if this guy can do it, I'm gonna have to do it.
yeah,
But it was like this guy wound me up because not because I didn't like him or anything. It's because he was doing something which I was too scared to do, and that brings me back to the like with comments and stuff. You get so many people that will talk so much on videos and everything, and then you look on it, they're not posting anything. It's like it takes a lot of courage to actually put yourself out there in front of people to be
yeah.
judged.
The only way I would get affected by a comment is if it was someone that I looked up to, or
Mm,
someone that was actually doing something. So say like us right now as creators, we're both talking
mm.
about it, but the people that generally put you down and take the piss out of you, as you said, they're jealous, or they just don't. They're looking at you and you're like, oh, you're annoying. You're annoying me. Your voice. They find the littlest thing to target and just to wind you up. But it's all part of being on social media. Everyone gets it. You can't just ignore it. If you turn off the comments, you'll be getting DMs. It can then
Yeah,
to a certain level it can then turn to emails and all sorts.
yeah. Do you find yourself letting the comments get to you at all, or are you good at sort of just like,
So when I was first started posting, so I just turned 18, and my mates at the time were properly taking the piss out of me. They were like, Ethan, what are you doing? This you look like a dick. You're making yourself look like an idiot. Everyone's taking the piss out of you of college, which they did. But and then going into college and people going, oh, TikTok, TikTok, rah, and at university exactly the same thing. It just no, it doesn't matter anymore.
that's good to hear because I think that's probably one of the main things that hold people back from pursuing something that they want to do because obviously when you start out, it's never cool.
Yeah,
It's never cool to start posting content when no one's watching it. But
yes, yeah. So
now
even
when now when you're cycling to Ukraine and you got all these people following the journey and everything, that's then something that people are like, oh my god, like what on earth is he doing? How's he doing that? But
yeah.
before then, it wasn't cool, and now it's something which a lot of people are watching like, this guy's just crazy.
It was the I got taken the piss out of a little bit by the style of bike. I don't know if you saw it. It was like a I don't even know how to call it. Like a yeah, the handlebars were like this,
Yeah,
but it was a little. There were a few comments at the start, but as soon as the journey started, there everyone was like, "Holy crap! What
yeah,
is he doing?"
yeah. When like you come up with these crazy ideas for projects, do you have anyone close to you or anything that are either saying, I'm not sure if it's a great idea, or people that are saying like, I can't believe you're doing this, but good on you?
Yeah, so the Amsterdam e-scooting to Amsterdam was the one where everyone was like, Ethan, you're gonna die, because it was -5 in December, and
Yeah,
obviously the more north you go, Amsterdam's a bit higher, so it's colder. Um, yeah, everyone was like, Ethan, you're gonna kill yourself. This is stupidest thing you've ever come up with. Because previously I went to Iron Appa to DJ, that was like semi-safe, but to go on my ones camping in the snow was pretty risky. But everyone, yeah, I don't think I had one supporter, to be honest, when e-scooted into Amsterdam. Even my parents were like, Ethan, you're stressing us out so much. My
mm,
my friends, yeah, no one was supportive of it. And then I did it, and people were like, "Holy crap, you're alive!" Same as the cycling to Ukraine thing, but the main worry was you don't know what you're doing. But then that's the entertainment factor, which
yeah.
just quickly actually was the reason why my initial sponsor that I reached out to pulled out because they said this is too dangerous.
Oh, really?
They said this
For
isn't
for which one?
cycling to Ukraine.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I was writing hundreds of emails to so many different brands, and everyone was saying, no, 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 too dangerous. You're going to die. There's no plan. What are you doing? And then one person said yes, and we were sorted.
Yeah. And yeah, that's crazy. I feel like with the whole Ukraine one, when you're saying it, a lot of people were, you had a lot of doubts for the Amsterdam one, but not as many for the Ukraine. I think what comes with that is because you'd already you'd scooted to Amsterdam, and it's like the first one of something like that you've done.
Yeah,
That's when everyone's going to doubt. And then when you mentioned about cycling to Ukraine, people are probably thinking, well, he's already done something similar to this before. So it's
yeah.
almost like you push the bar a little bit. So now people's expectation of what you're going to do
Which,
isn't as.
yeah, which is a good thing and a bad thing, because then that constantly means you got to keep on pushing the boundary, and there's
Yeah.
only so high that you can get before it becomes stupid. So
Yeah.
that's why the next venture is a little bit different.
Yeah. So that next venture that you're doing, do you want to like go into that a little bit?
Yeah, so I'm going into property with a property entrepreneur who goes by the name of Rick Gallen. He's been doing property for 25 years, social media for 10 years, and he duetted a few of my videos. So I thought I'd reach out to him and start a property series. So the idea is to show that someone with zero experience can do it with the right guidance.
Yeah.
So I want to get a property. So I've got a contract with Rick for a month. So I'm staying in Worcester for a month, and then we're going to be spending 3 days a week. I'm going to be shadowing him, filming everything, and then hopefully by the end of that, I will get myself a property that I can do up and then turn into a doing up series. So plumbing, electrics, plastering. I don't know how to do any of it, but I feel like that'd be quite entertaining.
Yeah. It's quite the contrast from cycling to Ukraine to then going into property.
Yeah, yeah, it is.
You're obviously going to be. Are you going to be living with Rick, or you staying in an Airbnb or something?
Yeah, so I'm staying in an Airbnb with a lady and her son, a dog, and two cats. So I'm in a spare room for a month.
So it
Uh,
sounds like you'll be living the dream. And whereabouts is that? Because my geography of the UK is awful.
I always say it's above Bristol, but it's just below Birmingham. Um, it's like an hour's drive from Birmingham, but it is in the middle of nowhere. I don't think there's a
Yeah.
lot there. So I'm going to be bored. I need to find something to do.
Yeah, well, with the way you go about just like doing all sorts, I like to think of you as just on a constant side quest. So
Yeah.
you'll probably find something that it is that like you'll find to do. I'm sure of it.
Yeah, yeah, I will. I will lose my mind. There's something about doing the same thing for a prolonged amount of time, whether that be education or, I can't do it. To be fair though, I'm still sticking with the DJ thing. I just think the whole events world is quite corrupt, to be perfectly honest. I
Mm,
think people take advantage of a lot of people. You're not really valued as a human a lot of the time, unless you're an artist. If you're an artist, oh, it's brilliant. You get welcomed, you get paid, you get drinks. But if you're doing flyers or you run even if you're an event runner, to be fair, you still get treated like shit. So
mm.
DJing is a little side quest at the moment, but a little. It's not the main thing right now.
So obviously, yeah, you did the DJing thing anyway, but you were over in Iron Appa. What made you think that you could just go from never DJing over there before with no contacts to then just trying to do stuff out there?
It was self-belief. Self-belief can be mixed with cockiness sometimes, but I was a little bit. I was confident that I could push myself to get a gig. I don't know why, but previously I had only DJ'd in 3 venues, and I wasn't. I'd say I was a little bit experienced because I did a festival, but I wasn't. I'm still not a very. I'm a good DJ, but I'm not a talented DJ. I initially went over to Cyprus to do a water sports internship. A lot of people don't
Mm,
know that, so I went over to do a water sports internship. I stayed there for 3 days, and then I quit because I was on €1 an hour, and I was working from 9 till 8 with no
mm,
in the sun, and I just thought, you know what, Iron Apple's on the other side of this island. Let me go see what I can do. I reached out to some event people on Instagram and email, and they all turned me down. So I'd been rejected from all the events people, all the DJ clubs online, and I still went. I just thought, you know what, I'm gonna end up in a crappy hotel and I'm gonna go talk to people. I didn't know anything about events at the time, by the way. I didn't know how events worked, who to go to. So I was literally going to bar staff asking, can I have a gig?
Yeah.
And then the owner would come over to me and talk in, I think it's Cypriot. They'd come over to me and shout in Cypriot and basically tell me to fuck off. So it was just a case of going to every club in Ayia Napa until I found someone.
I'm pretty sure that was actually, I think, when I fully was like following everything that you're doing, because I remember actually seeing the content from when you were doing whatever it is you were doing before. What was it you're saying? It was an internship or something?
Yeah,
So
sports.
yeah, so I remember you saying that like this ain't for me, and I'm gonna make my way over to Ayia Napa and just see what I can do. And at that point, I was like, yeah, this guy really does just come up with something, and he's just gonna like see what comes of it.
Yeah,
And you mentioned before how you just had confidence, or it can also be mistaken for cockiness. But I do think that, especially early on when you're doing a lot of stuff, you always have like this blind confidence that you don't realize the task in front of you.
yeah,
So then you kind of just go for it. But if you knew the task that you were up against, it would almost throw you off, and you probably wouldn't have started in the first place. That's what I found with when I started making music. I didn't realize how big of a mountain it was to climb. So if I knew how hard it was going to be, I probably would have never done it. But at the time, when I was putting out my first tracks, I thought they were sick when they were terrible.
yeah.
But you've kind of just got to have that, I don't know, confidence that you are going to do it. I don't know how it works, but it does.
It's as well, like, I don't know if you've had it with your like parents as well. You want to think that you look up to them and you value their opinion, but sometimes their opinion does not matter at all. So when I wanted to move to Ayia Napa, they were like, Ethan, stupid, you're going to die. Same as, and I'm sure you've had a similar with music. They're like, get a stable job, do this, do that. Well, you love your parents, but at the end of the day, if you follow in their footsteps, you're going to end up where they are. So this is what I tell myself.
Yeah.
Which
I know what you mean. Like with parents and just other family members, majority of the time they're doing it out of like, for them, they're just trying to look after you and protect you. But for you, you have your own sort of life path and goal. And I've always said that you can take advice from people, but if they're not trying to do the same race or journey that you're doing, then you got to take it with a pinch of salt. But ultimately, you got to follow what you're really looking to do, which, from the sounds of it, is what you've done.
Yeah, I 100% agree with that. You've got to take on board what everyone says, but not necessarily listen.
Yeah. So, if you wasn't doing this whole content creation thing, what were your parents thinking for you? Like, what was the ideal outcome?
It was getting into the media industry somehow. So music, I did media and music at college, and I was a fan of both of them. But I was more leaning towards media, and I didn't know what it was. My dad wanted me to get on film sets because that's something that he wanted to do, and my mum was like, Ethan, go be a runner somewhere. And then I just thought, you know what, I cannot be asked to listen to someone that talks down to you 24/7. I really hate it. I really can't stand it. Which is why the last job I had was Pets at Home, which was 2.5 years ago. And since then, I've been kind of all right.
Yeah. It sounds like you have an idea, and then you won't let anyone tell you otherwise that it's not going to be done.
It's what I'd say to a lot of people as well. If you have an idea and you genuinely believe in it, and you've done all your planning and you feel confident, just go for it. It doesn't matter what anyone else says. It does not matter in the slightest. If it goes to shit, it goes to shit. But if you've got your head and your heart in it, most of the time, I don't think it will.
With everything that you have done, obviously a lot of them have gone to plan and it's all worked out. Is there anything that you've like tried your hand at and it's just really not worked?
I'd say music production, to be fair.
Yeah.
I'd say music production I wanted to get into a lot more because I saw the potential with artists and the way that they were getting up there. Like I know it's a really sensitive topic with artists and TikTokers, how proper producers get pissed off by how easy it is for people to blow up on TikTok. So for myself, I would say I can't produce music, but everyone was salty that I was getting gigs because I had a following on TikTok, but I was just being clever with the way that I was targeting that following, saying I'll do promo for you if you give me a gig on the decks. Here's a mix that I've done. I'm not brilliant, but I can fill an hour. That was basically how it started. But yeah, I know it's a very sensitive topic because I've seen a couple videos on TikTok where people have tagged me in. You'll probably find some. They're like at Ethan Overton getting your first gig because you have 50,000 followers on TikTok and you can't actually DJ. There's loads of them, but yeah, I think it's so easy to get into the TikTok space, and you can go wherever you like with it. With social media, you can go in whatever direction you want to, which is why I love it. Which is why I love it so much.
What you're saying when you get people talking about people building up a following on social media and it's getting them places, and it's almost like people can get salty about it. I've always had strong opinions on this because obviously TikTok's very much helped me with what I've done, but for the people that slate it or have bad words to say about it, I almost just look at it like you have every opportunity to do the exact same. It's like complaining, I don't know, to some, like, let's say with the Formula One, for example, the cars just got better and better and better. And then that's like being someone's like, oh, back in my day, the brakes were this, the engines weren't as quick. The only reason why these guys can do lap times this quick is because of all it. But everyone's got the same opportunity to take advantage of these tools. There's nothing stopping me, you, or anyone from taking advantage of those. Well, they're tools to like spread out and get to more people. I don't see why more people wouldn't use it.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
Yeah, exactly. I agree, and it goes back to what we were talking about earlier. The whole people being negative about you and what you're doing. I don't think I've ever had someone that has a following that has ever criticized me or what I'm doing, which is great because other creators, how we all think the same. We're all work to get a following, which is it's good.
Yeah, it's just, I think it's about taking advantage of the tools available to you, and TikTok for a lot of things, and just social media in general, is probably one of the biggest tools in today's day and age. So to not use it, you'd almost be foolish to not.
Exactly.
Similar to, obviously, we both know Bounds.
Yeah.
He's someone that blew up on TikTok, and I don't think he would mind me saying the fact that if it wasn't for TikTok, he probably wouldn't be anywhere near the level of following and like getting the gigs he was getting because of that. Same with me as well. It's just a multiplier for what you're doing with the hard work. It just pushes you further, I think.
I agree. That's the same as me as well. Like me and Bounds, I don't know if you're aware, but we both started pretty much in the same uni kitchen on an ironing board. Because he reached out to me when I first moved down to Bournemouth, said, oh, this is when Bounds had like 200 followers, and he was like, yo, I DJ, can we do something? And I was like, yeah, come over to uni halls and we'll whip an ironing board out, get some vodka, see what we can do. Yeah, and then like what was it? A couple months later, he was warming up for Chasing Status, and I was doing Hybrid Minds. I was like, what the hell? It can go really quickly with social media, 100%.
When everything started growing, what would you say was the part when you're like, this is going a lot quicker than I expected?
Probably at uni. So prior to uni, I'd been posting for about a year, and there was like it was the recognition, I'd say, which in first year was pretty crazy because TikTok works on like a location basis, with especially if I'm using #BournemouthUni, and it was like on nights out or just on campus, like photos and things. I was like, what the bloody hell is going on? I filmed videos in my bedroom.
Yeah.
It all started from there, and then I thought, you know what? I can start making more money off this, which I'm still trying to do because TikTok pays tragically. It's awful. For the some of the views that I saw the other day, KSI has only made like $3,500 off TikTok. which is
Yeah.
crazy. So trying to monetize it more is the goal.
I know what you mean. I'm not even on the creator fund because I'm not even. I'd rather not even have the money at this point
Yeah,
from them. I'm obviously not doing anywhere near the sort of viewership that you're getting anyway. So my one literally was just like change every day. But
it's no, but it's demotivating though because you put so much effort into creating
mm,
content. Then what do you get out of it? It's like
yeah,
YouTubers get paid so much for content that they make, and TikTok just haven't clocked onto that yet, which is why people are moving to different platforms like Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, because they're paying so much better.
yeah, and also with TikTok, they have. I'd say they're a little bit stricter in terms of what you're allowed to put on there as well.
Yeah, yeah, they are. Yeah, but yeah, yeah, they've banned me for the most stupid things before. Like some things they put community guidelines and they give you a strike for no reason. I was banned on both accounts for being under 13 when I was cycling from Ukraine. I was like, I've got a beer and beard. I'm not 13. Yeah, they don't stupid
How
people.
old actually are you, if you don't mind me asking?
Have a guess.
20, 20, 21,
20. No,
20.
yeah,
Yeah,
still a baby.
but it still blows my mind that yeah, for someone that's 20, for just your mindset of and everything you've done is you've done a lot for someone that is 20 years old. If you were to think if you're 20 now and what you've done in the space of I don't know 2 years, 3 years, whatever, like where do you see yourself or what do you want to be doing in 5 years?
Oh, very good question. That's a very entrepreneurial question, that Odin.
Yeah.
I'd say, uh, with career wise, I'm assuming
Everything.
5 years, I'll be 25. Well, first of all, I want to be happy. Um, Career wise, I'm not too sure. I'd say I want to be doing something that I enjoy, and getting paid to do it, whether that be TikTok or. I think I'm really fond of these random side quests. I really like learning new things and just showing how it works. But I'd like to
Mm.
move that to somewhere where people can watch the entire journey. Because in order to watch cycling to Ukraine, you have to flick through. I think I counted there was 560 videos.
Oh,
People don't have
blimey.
the time for that. So there needs to be like either a documentary on Amazon or a YouTube like 30-minute story of how I cycled to Ukraine. But the editing expertise, the videography, I'd need a team. So I need money to
Yeah,
fund the production team. So that's I think the goal, to do
yeah.
random side quests and interact with my audience a bit more and help more people as well.
Mm.
Yeah, that's probably what I'd say.
Yeah. You said you wanted to be happy. Would you say you're happy now?
Yeah, I'd say happy now. Stressed, but it doesn't come easy. People think social media is a walk in the park, and I'll probably get a
Mm.
lot of backlash for saying that. If you want to do social media full time, it's not a walk in the park. If you want to make it a full time job, you can easily make it a full time job. Editing, filming, outreach, talking to clients, businesses, it's a full time job. Uh,
Yeah,
yeah, I'd say happy. I'd probably say 9 out of 10, 9.5 out of 10. There's always that little bit, but
yeah. You always forget that. What would you say if you were to put into what is it on a day-to-day basis that makes you happy? Like what makes you happiest?
ooh, what makes you happiest? I'd definitely say the outdoors.
Yeah.
Uh, Doing exercise, but not like your standard exercise. I hate the gym, so I
Mm.
do 100 press ups a day. I don't know if you can tell.
Yeah.
100 press ups a day is all I do. And then I go on mad walks. Like when I say mad walks, I'm saying 3-4 hours. Not a day. I'd probably say 4 or 5 times a week. Stick my headphones in and just walk around because I got a dog and I missed the dog at home because I'm from Reading originally. So going
Yeah.
on walks, you can really like think about stuff and there's no distraction. Either
Yeah.
taking your headphones off and listening to the birds or whatever. Or
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm a big fan of just being out, getting outside a lot. I'm definitely someone as well that I feel a lot better in the summer when it's just nice and bright. I'm not sure
yeah,
if, but yeah,
yeah. But
I'm
then
loving
again,
this weather.
I could contrast to that though. I really enjoy walking at like 2 a.m. or 3 a.m. because no one is out. If it's raining and it's pitch black and all you've got is
Mm.
street lights, that's the best time to be out. I found like I just start dancing to music just in the middle of the street because you can. No one's out to judge you.
Yeah.
Think to yourself.
Would you say you're someone that you have a lot going on in your head in terms of ideas and stuff?
Yeah, and when you mix that with relationships and everything, it's quite difficult because you've got to balance. As a content creator, you probably have it as well. You're constantly thinking of new ideas and trying to innovate and trying to
Yeah.
what you're going to film tomorrow. Oh shit, I haven't filmed today. I feel upset because I haven't got the views in, or so to balance that with friends and social time is quite difficult sometimes. You just got to. I still haven't figured out how to turn off. But yeah, something that I'm working on.
I know I'm someone that feels like I'm constantly thinking, and like you're saying, you don't really switch off. What I have found helps a lot is just writing a lot of stuff down.
Yeah.
I carry a notebook with me quite a lot of times. To be fair,
Oh dear.
yeah, I'm going old school. I do put stuff in my notes, but I was bought a notebook. No, I haven't got it here, but yeah, I write stuff in that all the time. That seems to really help. I find
What
so.
ideas or
Yeah, so it'd be ideas or just thoughts or stuff. Normally, especially if I'm trying to sleep and I got a whiteboard in my room and my whiteboard's just filled up with things that I'll just come up with just to like prevent myself from just going over and over and over again. Because
yeah?
otherwise, I just won't switch off and it's an absolute nightmare.
Oh, sick. That's a good idea. Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely recommend getting a whiteboard at least, like just being able to write stuff down on that, and then you write it down. Then if you leave it there for a few days, you can come back to it and you maybe think, actually, no, that's a bad idea, and you rub it off. But some of them are good ideas, so I'll leave them on there, and then I'll come back to it.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Investing in a
Yeah,
whiteboard. All right.
yeah, definitely worth doing, mate. What we'll do, we'll get into some of the questions from Instagram because I know that there's a few people that want to know a few things. And then I'm gonna let you run because I'm sure you got a lot on. Um, let's have a look here. There's a few little cool ones. Oh, I like that. What is your biggest fear?
Have you written any of these questions before we go?
No,
No. Okay.
no.
All right. What is your biggest fear? Uh, I'd like to say like spiders or something, but it's probably not.
Mm.
Um,
Is there a
uh,
deeper one in there?
yeah, definitely. Failure, I'd probably say.
Mm.
Failure is quite a big fear. I I don't want to define failure, but in I know what failure is in my eyes. So yeah,
Yeah,
I would say failure.
yeah. That's fair enough. Like, I think. Well, yeah. I think that is a good one. My one, because if we're going down that route, I may as well say it. My one is, and I got it wrote down in loads of different places, is is being somewhere and thinking what could have been.
Yes,
So,
regret. Mm.
so yeah, I've got it on my loads of different places in my room. I got it in my car as well. It says, "Do you want to be age 50, wondering what could have been?" And like, I
Yeah,
see that all the time because that scares the shit out of me. If it's something which I was too scared to do, and then when I'm old, I'm like, shit,
yeah, very
who
true.
knows what I'd be doing? So,
That's a good one. Yeah, yeah, I'll agree with that as well. I don't want to have any regrets. You gotta try stuff. That's a very good point. You don't want to be 50 looking back when you're in your 20s and something
mm.
that you didn't try. Yeah, very good.
Let's have a look. Which people inspire you the most?
I'd probably say with different things, there's different people. But probably say my parents with like family and stuff. But
Hmm.
then I'd say career wise, I really, really, really look up to KSI.
Yeah.
He was the one that made me want to start DJing, because I was at Reading Fest and I was looking at him on the stage, and he did a little speech that everyone, I could tell no one was listening, but I was listening. I was bawling my eyes out. He said, I was here at age 18 looking at the likes of Drake, and I was telling all my mates I'm going to be up there one day. He said, I don't know how, but I'm going to be up there. And all of his mates were ignoring him. And I did exactly the same to all of my mates at age 18. So I was saying, I was bored of my eyes. I was like, okay, so I'm looking at you and I'm going to be here. And I don't know how I'm going to be there. And everyone was looking at me like I was a weirdo. But yeah, I'd probably say KSI, 100%. And also, sorry, KSI and, oh shit, I can't remember his name. Bald guy. He's really, he's a extreme interviewer. It's not Kemp Block. He's a racer, isn't he? He's a Fiesta driver.
Ross Kemp.
Ross Kemp, that's it. Yeah.
Is it Ross Kemp? Romy.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah. It is Ross Kemp. I love Ross Kemp.
Is he like he's the bold hard geezer, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love him because he just does crazy things and he talks about it. I'm not as good as talking, but I don't think I could be a presenter. But the way he just goes to Afghanistan with no idea and he gets a camera crew to follow him, I love that.
Yeah, that is pretty sick. Here's one. Are you planning? We've kind of gone over this, but I'll go over it anyway. You planning on coming back to DJing at any point?
Yes, I am. So there's the Reading Fest thing. The competition finishes in May, but then after that, I love music and I love DJing. I probably might do some in Worcester, depending on what happens. But yeah, I'd probably say yes. Yeah. What I want to do is do what KSI did. He was a little bit dibble dabble in music before, like Lamborghini and everything, but he was never serious about it. Then he got his name absolutely massive and he started to get back into producing and everything, which people don't really like because he's using his followers to get in the charts, but it's clever. I think it's very clever.
Yeah, like we said before, it's just making the most of the tools that you have available to you.
Sure.
Continuing on the side of music, what's your favourite, or who's your favourite D&B artist?
It'd have to be Odin. You know what? To be perfectly honest, I love D&B and I'm really into it, but I'd have to be mainstream, and people are probably going to hate with this. But I'd probably say Headaches.
Yeah.
I'm a fan of Boo as well. I think Boo's close to Bangs. I think that's a tune. But yeah, probably Headaches.
Yeah, the Headaches is such a top guy, and just really smashing. He's one of them people that, for someone that is absolutely killing it in what he's doing right now, he just seems so genuine and humble. So it's so sick to see. What's your go-to pint? These are the serious questions here.
You know what? I don't actually drink pints. I can't stand the taste of beer. So it would probably just be double vodka Red Bull, double vodka Coke, which is standard.
Yeah, well, I'm pretty sure Bounds is like that as well. I don't think he drinks pints.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, a triple vodka or quadruple vodka is.
Yeah, because I remember when me and Bounds did a 6-hour live stream. I think I had to get him a bottle of vodka because he doesn't drink pints. He doesn't drink beer or anything.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, same as me.
Disappointed.
It makes you so gassy, doesn't it? Beer.
Oh, I could quite happily sink like 5 or 10.
I don't know. I just start feeling bloated and like I need a shit if I have more than two or three.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Speaking of Bounds, here's another one. Who's taller, you or Bounds?
Let me get a photo up. I'm pretty sure it's quite close. Everyone's taking the piss out of me for being short though, which isn't. You know, the average height in the UK is 5'7.5", so I top that. I think I'm 5'9", but I think. Hang on,
I know I'm taller than Bounds, but I can't remember. I don't think Bounds is a small guy. He's fairly he's a averagely sized man.
I think no, but he's got. Wait, how the hell does this work? It's inverted.
Yeah.
He's got his hat on.
Yeah. And I've heard he puts little blocks inside his bucket to make him
Yeah,
taller.
yeah, and he's got little height increasing soles as well. So I don't know. I'll probably say me.
I'm sure he would have something to say about that. Oh, this is well. You don't go to the gym. It just says, "What do you bench?" Have you ever tried bench press? No.
I did when I was back in like year 11, and it was just under 60, but I haven't.
Hmm.
I think the gym is such a waste of money. The
Mm.
whole concept of it. You can do exercise wherever you want. It's
Yeah.
probably quite a controversial statement, but as Andrew Tate says, press ups is all you need. Now, I've been doing it since September, and I've seen mad results.
Yeah. To be fair, just push-ups and everything. I'm quite into just going to the gym and everything. But yeah, you can get a lot of results just from doing push-ups all the time.
It's expensive though, isn't it? Your
Well, I've
membership.
got I've got a dodgy gym which I set up during lockdown when all gyms are shut. So I've got this dodgy one set up in my garage. So I just use that. I don't actually go to a
Oh,
gym,
okay.
but I've got like enough equipment to get good results, and just doing that every day for me is something which I'd like. If I don't do it, I start going nuts.
That's the same thing as me. If I don't do a little bit of exercise, but then I think it all weighs up to me not going to the gym and everything is why I cycle to Ukraine because it's fitness as well.
Mm.
I can't look in a mirror. I lose my mind. I lose my mind. I can't just look at a mirror and be cold in a little warehouse somewhere. I can't do it.
Yeah,
Tried.
yeah, yeah. Aim for everyone, I guess. I won't do any more questions because I don't want to just like berate you with them. Um, so where can people like find you? Obviously, people that listen might know, but anyone that's not, like, where's like the best place to obviously find you?
I'd probably say just type it on Google.
Yeah,
Type
sort
it
of
in.
flex.
Yeah, you type it in on Google, it should come up with all the socials. We've optimized all of that now. So
Yeah, and what's next after you got obviously this property project that you could be doing with Rick? But what do you think you're going to be doing next, or what do you reckon?
um, I've got no idea. I have no idea. I kind of want to do a motorcycle trip somewhere,
Mm,
but I also want to drive somewhere. But obviously, if I've done Ukraine on bike, then it has to
yeah,
be so much further than that. So
yeah.
God knows. God knows. There's a guy running the length of Africa right now, so that's one of my ideas. I was thinking of motorbiking across Africa, but if a guy's run it, then that looks pretty
Yeah,
significant, doesn't it?
yeah. It's not on like the extreme lengths of some of the things you've done, but I drove from the top of Vietnam to the bottom on a motorbike. Me, my girlfriend, my best mate, we all bought motorbikes, and then drove from the top to bottom. And you see some crazy stuff. I got
I
some.
bet you do.
Yeah, there was a few crazy things that happened on that trip that we did. But if that's something which I think would definitely like pop off, and you'd have a sick time doing that.
How long did it take?
A month.
A month to drive across Vietnam.
Yeah.
I bet that was expensive, petrol wise, wasn't it? No?
No. No, it's actually cheaper to buy a motorbike, travel from the top to bottom, and then sell your bike at the bottom than it is to like catch different buses and stuff.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What
So I
was it?
think it. Pardon?
You're on mopeds or 125s?
Yeah, so I got a 125. It's like a semi-automatic moped, so you still have gears, but it's still a scooter. And yeah, we bought them at the top of Vietnam in Hanoi, and then drove all the way down, and then got down to Ho Chi Minh, and then sold them. I think I ended up losing about $50 on my bike, and then I probably spent about $100 odd on fuel. I could
How,
be I could be absolutely waffling with that on the fuel, but I do remember it was something you're paying peanuts for fuel out there, really.
how much did the whole trip cost with like accommodation and food?
Oh God, I was budgeting for about 30 quid a day.
30 quid a day. Yes, that was similar to Napa. That's what I was spending in Napa as well.
Yeah, but
Oh, okay.
yeah, I think that would definitely pop off. But anyway, like it's probably not as big as you probably want to do, but it's always an idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, before I leave, is there anything, any words of advice, wisdom that you'd want to give, or like if you were to speak to Ethan Overton from 5 years ago, so you would have been 15, what would you have said?
Don't listen to what anyone else around you says about you. That's probably what I'd say.
Yeah.
Go with your head. Don't listen to what anyone else tells you, because then take on board what everyone says, but don't act upon it unless you feel it's the right thing to do.
Yeah.
That's what I'd say.
Sounds good to me, mate. It's been a pleasure having you on the podcast, and I'm sure we'll catch up again soon with the next crazy venture, whatever you're doing. But,
Yes.
Other than that, mate, I'm going to love you and leave you. Stay safe, keep doing what you're doing. I'm excited to see what you've got coming up next, and just keep smashing it, man.
Awesome. Wicked. Cheers, Owen. You too, mate.
Cheers, mate. Have a good one.
Bye.
And there we have it. That is the end of the podcast. I think there's a lot to be taken from that podcast. Ethan's someone that has obviously shown that just because someone tells you can't do something, that is necessarily true. He seems like he's someone that has taken his life into his own account, and he's got his own journey, and he won't let someone tell him otherwise. And I think if that's something you can take away from this podcast, you will benefit from it very much. Super excited to see what Ethan's got coming up next. If you want to follow along with what he's doing, you know where to find him. If you want to support the podcast even further, drop a follow or share it with a mate. It really helps. But other than that, I'm going to love you, leave you. This has been ODAN, and I'll catch you in the next one.